Alright, this video is probably going to be up late. I've been having crazy connection issues last night, this morning, issues with E-Trade across the board. Just not a good start to the video overall. But what I'm about to bring you is insane. So Citadel is now challenging the SEC over the market surveillance system. You wonder why? Well, the reason they're challenging them over the surveillance system is, you guys remember yesterday and the day before how we talked about GameStop, AMC, Hycroft, Metamaterials, COS, Workhorse, plenty of other plays that are heavily shorted. We saw Northern Trust own the float time and time again, billions of shares. I told you there's no coincidence. I told you there's no glitches. Well, the reason Citadel is fighting against the surveillance system is likely because of this. Now, that chief executive officer used to be executive director of global finance over at Citadel as well in 2005 to 2011 for 6 years. It doesn't end there, right? Everyone thinks it's weird that Citadel just sold Omnium for $100 million. May 16th, 2011, Ken Griffin's Citadel recently sold Omnium, a hedge fund servicing company with $70 billion under administration, to Northern Trust. Apparently, people in the hedge fund community are wondering why Citadel sell a company that does a lot of its back and middle office work. What's weird is that while Omnium wasn't exactly Citadel's back office, according to some familiar with Citadel, they were always pitching it as such. Omnium provided hedge fund services like accounting, for example, for a variety of third-party clients. Citadel owned Omnium and was a client, while a number of their groups had their own back and middle office personnel. Other parts of Citadel relied on the company's service, according to our source. Of course, it might not be counterintuitive to market it using the Citadel name and then sell it all. Citadel is a big successful, yada yada yada. Keep in mind, Citadel sold it for $100 million, yet they will continue to license and maintain the technology. I told you, no coincidences here. These glitches don't happen. Citadel is fighting against their surveillance system, against the SEC, and we're about to talk about how the SEC is actually backing down because they're scared. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to get demonetized, but Citadel is challenging this surveillance system so hard because of what it just showed. It just showed their real positions, their background work, and that's what's happening. Now, I bet it's such a threat that they're threatening the SEC, they're threatening Gary Gensler because they have so much power that the SEC is backing down. The SEC is ending its legal push to revive the hedge fund fee disclosure rule, thus ending its fight for more transparency into hedge funds and private equity firms. It's not over. The SEC rules, which it adopted in August 2023, required private fund managers to give investors more details about quarterly fees and expenses. The agency also prohibited firms from allowing some favored investors to cash out more easily than others, unless those deals are offered to all fund investors. Industry groups immediately pushed back on the regulations, aka Citadel. You go down the line. SEC had overstepped its authority, yada yada yada. The regulator didn't request a full slate, whatever. Okay. The SEC ended its fight. You can see right here, after a legal setback and Gary Gensler's push for more transparency. Not good, right? It's because they didn't act by Tuesday deadline to basically come forward and continue. I wonder why. I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Yes, the CAD system is still here. Technically, this rule is going to change a couple of things, making it probably a lot better for scumbag criminals like Citadel. Okay, jumping into the charts, GameStop is looking pretty good. Still basically flat on the day, down 0.63%, trading at 22 bucks even. This is what we have drawn out, and this is what is likely to happen because it has not traded off course just yet. Hopefully we hold this line and start shifting up from here. Hopefully a very, very bottom at 21.50, and this peak of this cycle is likely to hit by September 30th. That is 154 days. That's how long the last cycle took to peak. At some point then or prior, that's when we peak. As of right now, you're likely to see a peak by earnings, a mini peak, right? Similar to the last one. A peak September 15th, 16th, and then the 20th, and then the 28th or the 30th. 27th or the 30th, right? Because the 28th is on a weekend. AMC as well. This is entering the green cycle. Now, this is scary because there's no volume. It's looking weak. And AMC's green cycle is a lot shorter than GameStop's. You see, we should peak before September 13th, theoretically, in AMC's green cycle. And that leads us less than 2 weeks away. Okay, so AMC has less than 2 weeks of trading to peak to an all-time high or a high that we have seen. And we're just going to hope that this is the beginning of it. Maybe this week's a little bit shallow. Maybe insane volume comes into next week. And that's going to bring us into the VIX in a second. But 151 days in, that's how long since the last cycle peaked. 151 days, and it peaked around 70 something, right? Whatever, before the split. Options chain not being reported on both of these. Don't want to spend a lot of time on that. I want to keep it pushing. Now, the U.S. jobs report. What is this, right? This is coming out on Friday, and this is what's going to affect the market. VIX recently scaled back up. Now, the only time it did something pretty similar to this was back in March of 2018, and that's exactly what I want to jump into. I want to jump into the SPY really quick and show you the similarities as to where we're trading at right now, right? March of 2018, VIX spiked up, came back down, got a little bit of another spike to the same levels we're at right now. And what did the SPY do? It hit an all-time high. It didn't quite test it or break the neckline, right? But it got a double top. And you see this double top, and then it came down and retested the low. That's something that I think the SPY could be doing right now, coming back down to retest the low right around 518. Okay, as of right now, that's what we're watching on the SPY. Also to note that my laptop is overheating. No, but seriously, the longest yield curve inversion in history started in 2022 and ends today. What could happen next? Things are shifting for the market. People are getting worried, and Friday is going to be the catalyst. And I assume that the VIX is either going to calm down and stay shallow for the start of next week, or this thing is going to go to the moon. The market's going to go insane. Personally, depending on the jobs data Friday and then whatever happens over the weekend, the market is going to look insane. Also, I want to talk about Tesla. Tesla's just looking great, up another 4%, broke out of this flag, closed above 220, which is what we wanted to see. Now closing well above 226, which is another level I wanted to see us close above. We're at 228 right now, basically 229, came all the way up to 235 on Tesla. This thing is an absolute monster. Keep in mind, you got this long wick up here. You want to see how it reacts tomorrow, because for the rest of the week, this thing could scale down, but I just see strength in Tesla. I see green volume picking up on this move up as well. Shout out Tesla for looking pretty good. Also, Nvidia came out and said that they didn't receive a DOJ subpoena. So I don't know, was this sell-off fake news? Were institutions trying to get you out of it? Who knows, right? But it's still trading pretty low, under 107 for the day. Not much to say about Nvidia. I think once market has direction, Nvidia gets direction. Bitcoin, 56K. Thing is bleeding, but like I said before, even if the SPY sells off come October, Bitcoin does not have to follow the SPY. This thing could play out the other way. Overall, I would watch for a bottom on Bitcoin of about 52K if we flush down further on Friday during the jobs data. I think you see 52K over the weekend, and that could be a potential bottom unless things get catastrophic. But also keep note, just going with what I said, Donald Trump is also fighting to protect Bitcoin. The election is for crypto. So come November election, even if the market's bad, remember, there's no reason necessarily Bitcoin should be doing awful. Overall, guys, that is what I got for you for today's video. I'm sorry for the video going up maybe a little late. Sorry for maybe rushing it. I don't know. I just had a lot to bring to your plate. Make sure to like the video on the way out, turn post notifications on, get in the Discord to come talk with me, come talk with the most amazing people, stocks and crypto all day long. We also have options trading alerts in there. We post our gains, post our losses. I post my trades as soon as I enter them. Basically a big group chat with the most amazing people, best vibes, who are trying to become financially free like yourselves. So get in. It is a coffee a month. I'm not overcharging you guys. You guys won't even notice it from the benefits you get out of it. Also, the second link in the description of the video is for Moomoo, where you can get up to 15 free stocks, which is insane, and earn 8.1% APY on your uninvested cash. All you got to do, use my link, open an account, right? It's the second link under the video, and deposit into there. It'll take about 2 to 3 minutes, and then you will start earning those benefits, including level 2 order book data for free, access to trading options going long, going short, and more as a retail trader. Obviously, the top link under the video, if you haven't seen it yet, is for my custom indicator in which you can add your trading view charts. It is pattern detection and forecasting. It detects patterns, gives you price targets, and forecasts what the stock might do. How cool is that? In my personal opinion, the most powerful indicator out there, at a fair value, fair price. Okay, that is it, guys. Go check the links in the description. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. We are nearing 30K. I love you all. Lottery Stocks out.